Hello, stranger. My name is Emerald Jade, and I am here to record my Hardspace Shipbreaker playthrough. I got to about rank 16 in my casual playthrough. I was up to about hazard level 8, which is a mechanic that we'll get into later. And I decided that I wanted to try the game again on limited. Being able to revive as much as I wanted felt a little too easy to me. I really enjoy the trying not to die in this game, and I also wanted to record it here for YouTube. So without no more talking, let's just get into it. Humankind has industrialized much of the solar system. Earth has deteriorated into a place of squalor and decay. In orbit, a new breed of worker has emerged, the Shipbreaker. The labor is extremely dangerous, but for a select few, the hazard pay is worth the risk. We're not doing well in terms of money. Rations. Oh, Dad is sick again. Oh no. Greetings, Citizen LF291180S. Congratulations, you've been accepted into Lynx Corporation's pioneering Pave the Way to the Galaxy program. Your selection is based on your above-average physical and cognitive ability. You are assigned to Salvage Station number 42, designation Morrigan. Demonstrate the ability to build and grow a profitable operation, and a number of exciting opportunities await you. Remember, employment in this program is at the sole discretion of Lynx Corporation and can be revoked at any time. Acts of malice or insubordination will not be tolerated. On signing this form, please proceed immediately to the nearest Lynx Corporation shuttle hub for transport to the worksite. Finalize the following pages to confirm employment. Enter my name. Did. Account name is already in use. Ah, that's because of my other account. We'll go with just Anton. We have limited spares. It seems our spares cost a little less than in easier mode. Gonna go with our standard control scheme. I do not like inverted controls. Our food processors serve a wide variety of diet preferences. Food costs may vary over time. Chicken, plastic-free, vegetarian, entomotarian. I don't really want to eat bugs. I'm going to go with plastic-free, I suppose. I don't think I want plastic in my food. I have no criminal record in the Terran or Martian zones. I am not a member of and have never associated with a workers' union or other labor interest. I have completed my annual medical exam and have been cleared of having McCullough's lung. I have no commercial or real estate interests on Luna, in the asteroid belt, or in the nation-state of Arizona. I will bring a positive attitude and problem-solving mindset to work every day, absolutely. I understand and accept the health risks associated with long-term exposure to a Van der Waals field. Yes. I will vote for Chancellor Chun Zong in the Pan-American Senate election. Yep, I suppose. I mean, I don't really have a choice. This terms and agreements here is very funny to read through. I read through a lot of it on my first playthrough. I'm going to scroll through it pretty slowly here, just in case anybody else wants to pause and read through these. It is a long read though, and there are a lot of great contracts in here as part of our work conditions. Honestly, I'm sure there's somebody out there who has read through this could give you the rundown. For now, I'm going to skip training. I have already completed my training, and let's get into it. And I'm going to let this intro play.
Each day he steps into the yard to earn his wages working hard. I pray to the stars and heaven above to return my daddy to those he loves. If there comes a time when he and death meet, bless the next cutter that takes his seat.
Hello, Cutter 9346-52. Your automated Lynx onboarding experience will now begin. Please observe this important message.
Space, boundless promise, limitless resources, a brighter future. It's here where hard workers like you, the backbone of civilization, will help us pave the way to the galaxy. I'm Calicia Rye Paulson, president of Lynx Corporation's Salvage Division. When my great-great-grandfather Exeter founded Lynx, he foresaw a remarkable opportunity among the stars. His vision eventually brought us the railgates. Now spanning all the way to Jupiter, these are the veins connecting all of modern civilization. And the people flowing through them are its lifeblood. The railgates reinvigorated humanity and are key to our continued progress. You've been selected from among thousands of candidates to join the Lynx family. This is more than just a job. It's an opportunity to be part of the largest, most successful, and most pioneering company in human history. Your dream may be to forge your own destiny one day. Well, work hard, heed your superiors, believe in the Lynx vision. Do this, and you too will get your chance. Your first step is to join our EverWork program, the greatest gift we give our employees, turning death into an ongoing opportunity for learning and growth. With Lynx, death is a fresh start. Good luck.
Video observation complete. To
For
finalize
anybody who
onboarding,
is
your
like
genetic
a
sequence
little
will now be
squeamish,
extracted for
this
use
isn't
with
graphic,
the Lynx EverWork
but
asset replacement
it's a
program.
bit disturbing.
Don't worry,
Just
pain
a
levels during
brief warning.
extraction are largely tolerable. Please note, as outlined in Section 31 of your employment agreement, the process of genetic extraction will destroy your original body. Beginning extraction now. Extraction analysis and backup complete. Thank you. Beginning spare generation.
We're okay. We're good. We're fine. Everything is A-okay. Except, of course, the debt. The debt is less fine. But that's okay, because now, as part of the Ever Work program, we can safely work to pay off our debt. And also, debt is a sign of being prepared. So yeah, I have been absolutely loving this game. The gameplay is incredibly satisfying to me. The story I find very intriguing.
Cutter 9346-52. Your designated sleep period is now over. Have a great day.
And I'm really excited to bring this content to YouTube. I hope that maybe somebody finds me and somebody finds this and uses it to fall asleep, something like that. That would be just perfect for me. People enjoyed this kind of content. If not, I mean, I'm simply gonna enjoy playing the game regardless, so. Alright, starting at hazard level 2, we've got fire. Lynx is committed to ensuring shipwreckers are exposed to hazard levels in ships only according to their proficiency levels and median estimated emotional adjustment time, should death occur related to these hazards. If you have reached clearance for hazard level 2, you may now begin to encounter fire hazards in the form of fuel and flaming objects. Causing Lynx equipment or salvage goods to be damaged by fire hazards will result in credit deductions. Got a lot of emails to read. Got our first sticker. Love stickers.
Hey, Cutter.
Here we go.
Welcome aboard. The name's Weaver. I'm the foreman for yourself and a couple of other shipbreakers in this region. And welcome to your new home. There's everything you need. This is officially called a ready-made long-term employee habitation something or other. Around here, we just call it your hab. All right, let's start a new shift and pick your first ship to work on.
Alright, first we gotta check our emails. The certification system is a proprietary career progression tool for all our shipbreakers. Provides each employee with a fulfilling and promising future as part of the Lynx family. So the way certifications work is, as we reach certain milestones while taking apart ships, we are going to gain points. And when we reach the point goal for our certification level, our certification will go up and we will unlock new tools, upgrades for our tools, new hazard levels, such like that. The terrain scanner structure mode is probably our most important terrain scanner function. Sorry, just scanner, not terrain scanner. Cross spectrum scanner, if anything. This is going to show us how to take apart ships. Very, very useful. We're part of the Employee Financial Relief Program, of course, because, you know, somebody's got to help us pay off all the debt that we signed on to. They're explaining salvage goals, which are different milestones as we take apart ships. We'll reach these. And of course the Lynx kiosk. The Lynx kiosk is where we can buy any of the items that we need on board, that we need for our ship breaking purposes. There's a 1.7% employee discount on Tuesdays only, apparently. Very good to know. Well, I'll take a look at the certification window real quick, just to show you that. We start at basic training 1, then they have you go through a light cargo ship in the training, and I will go over all of the mechanics in this game as we go through. There's going to be a lot of gameplay to get through, so I figured I wouldn't waste any time on the tutorial. It's a little slow. It's a great tutorial. They teach you exactly enough to get started. A very fun thing that I love about this game is they really don't hold your hand. they explain to you how mechanics work, and then they just kind of let you go in the sandbox, and they force you to infer what's going to happen based on how mechanics work. Something I very much like about this game. Let's go find our first sticker, Link's Safety Third. We'll just slap that right on there on our grapple tool. And let's start our shift. We've got a couple different options for ships here. None of them are too different from one another. I think I'll just start at the Pacific Leviathan. It's a station hopper transport, previously owned by Lynx. We're gonna get right into it. As for the format of this series, I think what I'm probably going to do is...
She's all yours, Cutter.
Give me a second.
Now try to remember. Nanocarbon goes in the processor, aluminum goes in the furnace. Try to salvage the entire ship if you can. We call it using the whole buffalo. You'll hit your certs faster that way and start knocking out that debt of yours. Okay. Your primary goal is to get to the next rank. Good luck out there, Cutter. Weaver out.
Thank you, Weaver. Alright, so here we've got our ship. As I was saying, with the video series, here in the beginning I may do about 2 ships an episode. These early ships don't take too long to take apart. Once we get into the later ships, though, they start to take quite a few shifts to take apart. But we will see how that goes when we get there. Alright, so for starters, for our controls here, we've got this grappling. We've got our Van der Waals field grapple tool. We can use it, we can latch on to any object that we can see. If we use the right mouse button, we will reel in. We can also, there is a push mechanic. We can push with it. If we are grappled onto something and push, it will attempt to push what we're grappled onto. If it's too heavy to push, it will push us. Which we have to be careful about, because if we move at speed and we crash into something, it's not a good time. Oh, here we got an antenna. So the basic premise of this game is we need to take this ship apart into its constituent components. We've got certain things that go in the processor, which is those those squares over there, the furnace, and the barge. Things that go in the barge are things that Lynx can reuse, such as antennas. So we can just kind of pop these off.
Salvage deposit registered. Account credited.
As for our other tools here, we have a laser cutter, which has a precision mode and a line mode. This line mode is great for things like this glass here. We can cut this into sections to remove it from this ship. And we've got our scanner here, which shows us how the ship is made up. It shows us any sections of the ship. So we can see, there's the cabin and the cockpit. And you can see at the top, it shows, based on color, what different things are. So yellow things are cut points, and cut points is what we use this laser mode on. We zap that with the laser for a bit, and it'll detach. And our goal here is to slowly take this ship apart, piece by piece. So here we can see these cut modes. What I like to do first, before anything, is I get in this ship and I just take a look around at any dangers that we've got. On this ship here, it doesn't look like we've got anything too bad to worry about. We can pop this door off. We got some fuel tanks. We need to be careful of those. If we hit the fuel tank with our laser cutter, it's not going to be pretty. And I am back. Sorry about that. I had to use the restroom.
Trust me on this.
And I forgot to pause my game. So now I need to get new oxygen. Some mechanics I forgot to explain here. If you look on the bottom of our HUD, you can see we have health, fuel, oxygen, and suit integrity. Our suit integrity is going to protect us if we take any hits. Our fuel is how we maneuver in space. We have some thrusters. And our oxygen lets us breathe. But of course, it's not free. We have to make sure we continually reprocess oxygen from the station there. Alright. I'll get back into what I was explaining here about the insides of these ships. So I like to, when I start off on any salvage op, I go into the ship, and if we look around, we've got, say, the suit patch kit, which we can just kind of grab. And these repair kits, we get to actually keep these. Technically not supposed to, but I mean, they don't need to know that. Okay. So it's looking like there aren't any immediate threats for us to deal with in the interior of the ship. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and start hitting these cut points. And we're just going to start peeling off this, the nanocarbon exterior of the ship here. I like to call it onioning the ship because we kind of peel it off layer by layer. Uh-oh. That was silly of me. It's been a little bit, and I forgot these soft grates can light on fire, I think. I get that. Awesome. We got it in the barge before it actually burned up, and so it's all good. This panel here, we're going to launch that off into the furnace. And where did my other panel that I detached go? One of the problems I have is things float off into space and I lose them. It'll turn up. Now, we're getting dinged on some lights that we destroyed. But honestly, the lights are so cheap that it is hard to find the time to really take all of the lights off. There are so many of them, and these airlock consoles, they sit on these walls. Those are very valuable. The lights, they're all over the place, and they're only worth like 3,000 credits. I try and grab them here and there when I can, but if we miss a couple, it's fine. We're looking to get most of the big stuff. And we want to use the whole buffalo, like Weaver said, but some parts of the buffalo just aren't worth it. Get these seats out of the way. Nice and easy, and then we can use our push tool on our grapple. Get these out. And then we just pull them over to the processor. Gotta be careful not to hit ourselves with anything that we fling, because this is a 687 kilogram panel of nanocarbon, and if it hits us, it's not gonna be pretty. So this is what the basics of the game are going to be for now. And if you are looking at it and you're thinking to yourself, well, this isn't very exciting, we'll get there. There's some ships that I have a very hard time taking apart in even like a semblance of safety.
5 minutes left in this ship, Cutter. Don't bite off more than you can chew.
Oh, dear. I'm running out of shift time because I had to step away and forgot to pause.
Valuable object accepted for processing.
That's okay though. When the shift ends, we will simply head back to our hab, have a good night's rest, and we will come back and do it all again tomorrow. Grab this light. If you are having trouble orienting yourself in space and telling where things are, whenever you grapple to something, you'll get a little indicator on the sides of your HUD showing what deposit station it needs to go into, which can be pretty useful. Do we have a cut point that we're missing? No, so this should be, yeah, this is not actually connected to this nanocarbon. However, there should still be some glass in here, which this will be where we first use our cutter mode.
Make your way back to the kiosk on the starting platform to fill up your O2. Blue ain't your color. Trust me on this one.
Cut this glass here.
Hey, Cutter, I need you to head back to the kiosk on the starting platform to fill
It'll
up
be
your
okay,
O2.
Weaver. I can hold my breath for a little bit.
You're out.
Suppose dying on my first day on the job would not be very... It wouldn't look good for my financial reports. I don't think Lynx would think of me as a very profitable employee if I did that. And as we'll find out, Lynx really loves their profit. Let's finish cutting this glass off of here. It needs to go in the furnace. Another mechanic that we have, when these bits and pieces are floating around, we can brace ourselves. And that kind of latches us onto whatever we're braced onto. Very useful mechanic for just stabilizing yourself.
Raw material processed. Credits deposited.
Or, you know, otherwise. It'll also protect you from any... A mechanic we'll get into later is explosive decompression. Some parts of ships will still have oxygen inside them. And if you can't find a way to safely vent that oxygen, you have to do it unsafely. And bracing yourself is a good way to not get flung into space. Here we're gonna grab some storage bins.
Salvage
Pull
registered.
this out of here.
Transferring credits.
Oops. My other intent with this video series was,
Deposit secured.
for anybody who's been playing this game and is having a hard time
Salvage goal
taking
cleared.
apart ships safely.
Rewards allocated.
I mean, I'm no expert. I haven't reached the max level, but perhaps you can watch me and learn from my successes, or maybe learn from my failures. Who knows? I'm sure that I will have quite a few embarrassing failures
Deposited. Applying credit
as
to
we go
account.
through this game.
Cutter, got about 1 minute to make your mark on this shift.
This all just goes in the furnace. We can just launch that sucker over there. And they'll probably tell me there was a light on it or something. They'll yell at me, but that's okay. Now, we definitely aren't going to finish this ship this shift.
Salvage deposit accepted.
What we can
Credit
do
transferred.
is simply just make some cuts during our last 30 seconds or so. And that'll get us ready for our next shift where we can finish this off nice and quick. We need to be careful here, this fuel tank, we do not want to explode it. That would be very embarrassing. And yeah, that'll be our first shift. Pretty simple, nothing too fancy. Destroyed, you know, some small odds and ends, but it, you know, 20,000 credits out of almost 5 million. Not a big deal. And we take a
Good
nice
morning,
nap.
Cutter 9346-52. Today's weather report, clear and sunny, with a high of minus 270 degrees.
Every morning, first thing that we see is how much debt we still have, how much we made, You know, the important things to see right when you start your day. It's a reminder that minimum payments are due by 10 a.m. Solar Standard Time each day. If you don't pay on time, it's a breach of contract. Alright. And we're gonna start our shift. Let's just get right back into it and we'll finish off this ship. You also have the option to stop salvaging whatever ship you are working on and start on a new one. However, in that case, we don't get any of these nice milestones. Which we very much want. Milestones give us links tokens, which we can use to upgrade our gear. And as well as increase our certification rank. Now that door doesn't want to fit back out of it, so we will have to cut it out. First, we've got these panels that we detached yesterday. I'll just grab that light.
Salvage secured.
If one was trying to speedrun this game, they would not bother with these lights. They're definitely not worth it, but I don't like when they ding me. So, I try and grab them here and there.
Salvage secured. Applying credit.
But we're not looking for perfection. We're just looking to get the job done safely. Especially considering we only have 20 spares. Alright, we can just kind of pluck this fuel tank.
Transferring credits.
And it's a little heavy. Weighs almost 1,200 kilograms. Just kind of get it going, and it should float down towards the barge, nice and easy. Now that's still connected because of the airlock. It's fine. Just get in here, we can take off this nacelle. Oh yeah, this one just we cut out here. I'm gonna wait for this to be away from me before I push it. Because grabbing things carelessly, a really easy way to just crush your skull with a, 1,000 kilogram panel of nanocarbon, and it doesn't feel great when that happens to you. Alright. A little light here. Pretty easy to just grab that. And just send this on its way to the processor. And get back to cutting this ship up. Now we can also use our brace mechanic here to kind of crawl along the inside walls. But actually, when I detach this airlock, it's gonna start drifting. This whole ship is drifting.
Valuable object accepted for processing.
Goodness. I hope this doesn't drift into the furnace. It's got a little bit more momentum than I really wanted it to have. Gotta be careful here of... This should be detached now. Yep. You can pull this loose. Doesn't seem like she's gonna drift into the furnace, which is great. Because there is definitely a likelihood that if it started drifting into the furnace and I wasn't paying attention, it's a one-way trip for me into the furnace if I'm inside there. Now, one of the things we've really got to look out for is whenever we take off a panel that had an airlock on it, it's going to have an airlock console attached to it. And those are worth 125,000 credits. We don't want to be wasting those. Lights are only 3,000. Airlock consoles, a lot more value there. You don't need to get it exactly in the processor. Once it's in there a little bit, the processor's got like a sort of field
Processing
that
object.
sucks
Applying
things
credit
into
to
it.
account.
It's a pretty strong field too. Which is why I'm so worried about this whole ship drifting on in. Because if it does go in,
Salvage
I
deposit
can't
confirmed.
stop it.
Applying credit.
And we would lose any of the money from all these nanocarbon panels. Before I do any more cuts, I want to pull this fuel tank out. Very much don't want to explode any fuel tanks on myself. Please and thank you.
Warning. Oxygen low. Note that oxygen costs can be reduced through good breathing practices.
And we'll get this fuel tank in the barge while we go back for oxygen. Got some bottles and food packets floating around in space, but they are not necessary to do anything with.
Oxygen levels stabilizing.
We don't really need much fuel.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credit
I like to
sent.
travel around mostly with the grapple. Ah, there's that panel I lost earlier. We'll just send it over there. See if we can't grab that light.
Salvage secured.
These lights, they're not,
Credits deposited.
you know. Nobody's paying out big money for light fixtures, but they add up. So, I mean, you've got half a second to grab a light fixture, why not?
Deposit accepted for processing.
Now what I could have done, and I forgot about, is we've got some spare oxygen tanks in this ship. Which we could have just grabbed. And
Salvage deposited. Applying credit to account.
used those to refill our oxygen instead of paying money. But I'll probably need another oxygen refill before this shift is over. So I will remember to do that next time.
Processing valuable
Got
deposit.
another light.
Credits transferred.
Grab it and bag it. Some door consoles
Salvage
here.
deposit
I like to just
confirmed.
pull these off
Applying credit.
before I do anything else, otherwise I forget. Is that O2 canister I was talking about? And this panel is loose. Perfect. Now before I get that into the processor, I am going to make a couple more cuts. Just while I'm in here. Get this structure off. Cut you here. Slowly peeling everything apart. Now this panel is very big. It's probably not gonna cooperate with us. Am I able to pull it? Well, first we gotta get this thruster cap off. That weighs about 4,000 kilograms. That's not helping us. That's pretty quick and easy. Now, if you were wondering how I knew where the cut points on the thruster cap was, they're pretty standardized. Got a little bit of experience, but for anybody at home, anybody playing this game yourself who's wondering how I find cut points,
Processor deposit accepted.
just look in your scanner,
Credits awarded.
and anything yellow is generally going to want to cut it. And we do have a cut point here for a fuel pipe. This pipe junction is a cut point for pipes. However, this whole thing is going in the processor, and so if we can move it, which at this point it's light enough to be moved, so put this door out of the way. We don't need to cut those fuel pipes off, because
Valuable object processing.
all of it's going into the processor. So we just send it on its way. Grab a couple of these panels. Send them with it. This one I'll send over this way, because that other processor's
All right,
getting
Cutter.
pretty clogged up
You
for a
got
bit.
5 minutes left in this ship before they turn the lights out on you. Pitter patter.
Oops. Now see, I grabbed the wall there instead of the processor, which could have been dangerous. It sends you flying at a pretty good clip when you push off a
Object
wall.
accepted for processing. Credits deposited.
Okay, that should be in there. And now let's take a look in our structural scanner. At this little guy. Send him off to the processor. We've got our door consoles that we pulled off earlier. Those can head off to the barge.
Salvage secured.
We have another one?
Credit applied. Valuable object processed.
Alright, that's pretty much this whole ship.
All salvage goals have been met.
So our salvage goals reached, but we can get a little bit more money. Can I move this? I cannot move it by myself yet, so what we're gonna have to do is snip these panels here. We'll get dinged a little bit. And then we'll have to cut this panel in half. And now we should be able to move these individual chunks. Oh, didn't cut it all the way. Now that it's a lot lighter, we move that whole chunk and send it straight in the furnace. Same with this one. And that will be the end of our first shift. Let's enter our scanner. Make sure we didn't miss anything. We've got some odds and ends floating around that we can't interact with just yet. It's fine. Got our mini-me sticker, which is what it's all about. That is a sticker we unlock for completing 90% of a ship. And that will be the end of our first real salvage opportunity. Let's head back to our hab. We can end our shift early today. I will pick up some fuel on the way out. It's not the most efficient, but it's just money, and we're not making a dent in that debt anytime soon. And the intro ran a little bit long, so I think that's actually probably going to be about the end of my first video here for Hardspace Shipbreaker. If you enjoyed it, I really hope that you come by and watch another episode. We reached up to level Cert 4, which is great. Only 80 MP for our next cert, which should be about 2 ships worth. Maybe 1 if I choose to do a bigger ship. But you'll have to find out in the next episode.